got some more yarn reclaimed from my pile of tangled yarn. It's got a little cat hair in it, but you know, we're working with it. We're working with it. It'll be fine. I am drinking spicy Mountain Dew because that is exactly what everybody wants first thing in the morning, isn't it? Spicy Mountain Dew. My cat made a chirp. What'd you guys find? Some plastic? Please don't chew on it. I'd hate to have to derail this already for a cat attack. apologize if you can hear my cats thumping and bumping around in the background. They are trying to break my furniture, it sounds like. Happy lunch break, caveman. We are on, what would I call this? This is kind of a minty, bluish color. A very light blue-green. it looks pretty good. After that, it's gonna go into sort of a peach color. Hope you're having a good day. I don't know if you can hear the cats shuffling things around my bedroom or not, but that's the main thing that's been going on today is the cats have been going crazy. Ooh, housekeeping. Almost through the fridge. I need to do that too, honestly. I have some stuff I've got to do after stream today. I've got to gather up all the laundry, take that. We do ours at the laundromat because we live in an apartment building, so there's like a few extra steps to getting it done involved. That's a whole chore on its own, and I need to clean out the fridge, and then I need to get groceries and refill the fridge up, and all sorts of things. It tends to sneak up on you, doesn't it? Every time it comes around, it's just like, oh, I thought I really just did this. How did it get this way? It is like a side job that doesn't even pay, you're right. I've never heard it put that way, but I love that. That is the perfect description. I wear a lot of blue jeans too, so especially when it's when they're wet and you're trying to get them from the washer to the dryer, just trying to lug them out of one machine to another, that's a whole arm workout half the time. Then if you have to wash your bedding, that's always extra heavy. Good morning or afternoon, plushie. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much. I think it's coming along really great. I only get to wear jeans for a week or two due to the heat. That makes sense. That does make sense. I live in the Midwest and we get all sorts of weather and temperatures sometimes throughout the whole year. So it's pretty interesting. I do wear jeans for, I feel like, about half the year. I also wore them at some of my other like previous jobs that I've had in farm work and just other outdoor jobs, so they're useful for that. Alright, plushie, enjoy the lurk. I notice on my preview screen, like my bitrate says it's fine, but it looks like it is frozen. Or like lagging a little bit. But I hope not. It does sometimes start to randomly lag on me though sometimes. Like my internet will be fine completely and everything seems to appear normal, and sometimes my Twitch will just lag. It's amazing how that works. None for you? That's good, that's good. Maybe it's just my my device that I'm looking at might need refreshed or something. I've heard that about Comcast before, actually. I use, we have Spectrum, and it's usually okay. We did have a blackout, like a few days ago, where like 2,000 units in our city or something were out electricity for like, I want to say it happened at like 7:30 a.m. and we got power back around 11. So a couple hours. And it was something to do with Spectrum. But I have no idea what happened. They did notify us like as soon as it happened though. They were like, you know, we have so many units out, we're working on it right now. And they were pretty efficient. I live in a city though, so I feel like the internet is definitely better like in the like area where I live than opposed to even like in some of the suburbs. That is very true. Cabinets, fridge, dishes now on shelves and sorting goods. Almost can start the floor. Nice. That's a lot of progress, though. You're doing pretty good. I get sidetracked really bad too, especially if I find something that I was previously looking for, because then I have to like negotiate with myself if I'm gonna put this somewhere and just try and remember that I put it away where it belongs? Or am I going to leave this out so that I see it and don't forget about it? Um, or I'll find something and I'm like, I can't move forward unless I find a spot for this. This can't just hang out outside of like a spot. And yeah, I definitely get sidetracked and sometimes a bit overwhelmed. I'm one of those people, I definitely have to break it down into smaller steps a lot of the time in order to not get too stressed out about organizing and tidying up. I'm the exact same way, caveman. I leave it until it has absolutely just has to be done and then I'm stressed out about it. It does kind of put the fire under your ass to get it done though, doesn't it? I was that way in school too. I don't even know why cuz I didn't want to be. I wanted to be able to like just do things the moment that I knew they needed done. It's just so easy to put things off or get sidetracked. Oh, that sounds interesting. That sounds pretty cool. I could maybe see that. It definitely is, the colors kind of remind me a bit of like cartoonish stuff, almost like a cel-shaded video game type of color palette. Yeah, it is kind of a bit like a camouflage sort of thing. It's a bit like more sporadic than a regular pattern. That's definitely a big part of why I do enjoy projects where you hold at least 2 or more threads of yarn, because you really get the chance to mix and match, and the way that they present themselves through the stitching later is just really interesting, because you can only have so much control over it unless you want to go at a snail's pace, but I think it's more fun this way. Plushy, thank you for the bits! I really appreciate that. I feel very motivated. That is too kind. Oh goodness. Definitely get yourself some rest. I hope you have a good rest of your evening. And I will see you soon, I hope. Just throwing biddies around. That reminds me, I do plan on doing some digital art streaming at some point, where I want to make some overlays for the channel where it'll have like the last follower's name and like the last person to donate's name and subscriber's name and stuff like that. I like those that I see on the internet, but I think it would just be easier for me to make my own than to use the free ones. yarn stretch. Gotta reshape this bag and stretch it. There. It is much easier to see what I'm doing. The yarn does tend to get very crunchy whenever I have it clenched clenched in my talons. I tend to have death grip on my projects, so that helps me a lot.
Now, to be fair. Lots of people and that sounds when it stands up and sits down.
Oh, that was a good one. I need to make those louder somehow. Those are just sounds from like different shows. Good afternoon, Bob. How are you today? We are working on the backpack.
Wonderful! Time for a celebration! Cheese for everyone!
Yes, cheese for everyone. Sometimes I do that too. It's like, oh yeah, I better get myself a piece of cheese. I'm doing pretty good, Bob. Tired but good. I had trouble falling asleep, so like when I got up on time, but I am a little bit drowsy. Part of that's probably my seasonal allergies, though, if we're all completely honest. I've got some housework to do later, but I think I'm ready. I've got to take out the trash, and I've got to do some dishes. There's always dishes, obviously, but get the laundry together and definitely pick up the living room. I don't know how, but my living room is always a mess, somehow. Between the cats, between Mitch and Sai, it's hard to keep this place tidy. That makes sense. Unfortunately, we do buy a lot of like sodas, so we do tend to acquire a good amount of cans. We also tend to have boxes because we're constantly so I stream and my partner also streams with our neighbor, so we have two streaming setups, and theirs is much more professional than mine, so they have a lot of boxes for adding different elements and things like that. It has slowed down quite a lot, but at first it was like I thought it was going to be buried in boxes forever. I've also been trying to kind of like get rid of stuff, not like throw it away, but like donate things and just kind of clear out the clutter and like just condense what I have. I really need to go through my art supplies and get rid of like dried up paint tubes and stuff like that you kind of acquire over the years. Yes, Bob, that is also true. I think that they're gonna do, like, they're starting to plan them out a little bit earlier, and I think that we're gonna get into some, like, more well thought out ones than just a bunch of candy wrappers. Or at least I hope so. Getting them both on the same page to get anything done before the very last minute that's its own struggle. Good afternoon, little stubby toes. I hope you're doing good today. welcome in to day 2 of live backpack making. The randomness is pretty funny. It also just makes so much for me to pick up, and I don't know if you remember this from the other day, but when they did the tiny trees, Midge straight up just threw them into the hallway. He's just like, I'm just gonna throw these. I'm just gonna throw these out of here. And then the cats like to grab anything that hits the ground and scatter it about. It's just a whole extra thing. I definitely don't feel like the hype for hype's sake makes a lot of sense. They are usually like making tier lists and actually like kind of making stuff that could also function as YouTube episodes sometimes. And it's not like belligerent or anything. It basically, I'm just the main housekeeper, so it's a lot for me to have to deal with. That is part of why I also do try and like find so many different ways that I can recycle stuff. I feel like it kind of helps in some way. Oh, gotta hydrate. Thank you, Bob. I'm also we are like 11 hours into this bag. Well, total, not on stream, obviously. Sin, welcome in. Good afternoon. Hope you're having a good day. Starting to get into the color change part of this yarn again, and now it's going to go into like this nice like peachy color. That is awesome to hear, Sin. Oh gosh, yeah. That is definitely good news. I've never had to take pills for my mouth for that long. Well, not yet anyway. I know that I probably will have to at some point, just because I know, I just know. But yeah, that's, whew. I know when I had my wisdom teeth out, I was definitely on painkillers for a while. Though it was intense. That's also good, because that was probably really, really weird. Probably very challenging. Yes, we are. We are starting to go into the grayish color that comes between this minty color and a peachy color. I didn't make this one. I don't know how to wind one that looks like this. That one came that way. I have thought of investing in a yarn baller though, because they make them and it will make them like kind of how this looks like crisscross and woven. It'll make it like that. They're a little bit like out of my price range right now, but I am thinking about that pretty heavy. I have been for a few months though. It would definitely make a lot of the type of projects I do, since I do use recycled and reclaimed yarn a lot, it would make balling up all of those much, much easier. That's the main reason that I've considered it. I make so much stuff out of scrap that there's just a pretty big need there. It would cut down on the time exponentially that I spend just untangling and unballing old projects. It probably could. And you know what? I have a 3D printer at my house. It just needs, like, reset. It's, like, set up, but it hasn't been used in a while, so it kind of needs reset up. And my partner knows how to use it, but I don't really. Which he has to anyway soon, because he was also gonna make, like, quite a few other things. The list is getting longer, but that is a really good idea. I bet there's a pattern somewhere on Thingiverse. Oh, there will be plarn, Bob. Don't you worry. There will be plarn. Pretty amazing what some people manage to recycle into really interesting stuff, honestly. Speaking of the things people can do with waste, one of my friends has, he does like a lot of gardening and stuff like that, but he also like has these worms, right? He like breeds these special worms, and they like can help they help recycling kind of by like being able to just eat plastic. And I don't know how long it takes them to eat the plastic, but like they can help like break down human like waste, the trash waste, by being able to do that. I think that's the coolest. Like, I as much as I think it's fun to recycle plastic, like, I think it's really cool that you can just make special worms that do it, too. Right? Like, I can only imagine if I told him one time, I'm like, you need to breed a lot of them, and we are just gonna take buckets of these worms and we're just gonna dump them. We are gonna dump them at the garbage lot, and we're just gonna let them free. And I still think that's a really good idea. I think we should do that. Guerrilla tactics, release the worms. Right, like, it's not a super large scale, but I do think that is so amazing. I think that people are kind of weird about worms and stuff like that, and I get it, because, you know, they're worms. But I also think that that's something that more people should invest in, like, when it comes to having gardens and, like, doing stuff that's greener in general. I feel like that's something a lot of people should know about. Because that could definitely just help, like, on a smaller, like, more individualized scale. That's something that more people could do, is learn about them and help people that breed them or whatever by, like, I don't know, just helping them out, giving them stuff to feed the worms, just throwing out less waste in general, but then also, like, fostering the idea that this could really help. Right, like, that's just so cool to me. Because I feel like a lot of the time, like, it seems like there's a lot of hopelessness. And, like, in a lot of ways, like, yes, no individual person can stop, like, a huge corporation from making all the waste that they do, but it's important to know that there are, like, stuff in the works that people are really trying to help combat all that stuff at the same time. And it does make it seem a little less of a hopeless fight. I mean, I think that makes absolute sense. I mean, there's no reason why, with all the technology we have now, that we should even need to make wasteful products. If 3D printers can make food, then 3D printers can make anything out of a biodegradable product. We can make so many things with machines that are just out of anything. If they can make biodegradable, like, glitter for craft projects, which is usually tiny flakes of plastic, I mean, a lot of other plastic stuff could just be made that way. And it should be. I don't know, Sai, if you're making, like, a Silence of the Lambs joke. are you doing today? Oh, well, yeah, I could totally do that. I could crochet you like one of my French Bernies, for real. Trying to stay busy at work. Yeah, that's what most people pretty much try and do, I think. Can't be caught slacking. Enjoy the lurk, caveman. I hope you make a lot of progress. Hope it's not too strenuous. I've got some housework I've got to do later. Not as much as I thought, though, because I cleaned up some of the kitchen. It wasn't so bad. I do really need to do dishes, though. Ugh. Fuck dishes. I mean, yeah, same. Fuck dishes. But also, that's like, so I do the dishes and Sai does most of the laundry, and to me that's worth it. Like, I'll put away the laundry, I don't give a shit, but I don't like doing the laundry at all inside. Just, he doesn't have the constitution for dishes, so I do it. I agreed to that. So that I wouldn't have to deal with, like, laundry. Now if my socks disappear, it is not my fault. I know I gotta get the house clean for a prize, but also I've been working on it. Ooh, yeah, definitely wear gloves. I know what that's like. Sometimes I'll be cleaning stuff and halfway through I'm like, oh no, my skin. It's getting dry. I am loving this flaming hot Mountain Dew, Bob. The best part about it is like, I woke up not like late, but I like had some water, and I didn't make tea just because it was like already kind of hot and I didn't want to turn the stove on. So like, I haven't had any like caffeine aside from Mountain Dew, and it was like the first caffeinated drink I had in the AM time. Like I opened this. I probably should have drank it a little bit faster to actually like have any benefits of drinking it, but like it was one of the first things I had at like 10:30 a.m. I'm just like, ah, yes, spicy Mountain Dew. Absolutely trash. But I can't help it. I like how it tingles. Maybe some tea would help, Bob, but I feel like it would be weird to go to hot tea now after I've already started having spicy Mountain Dew. I feel like that's gonna be a weird combination of flavors. Because here's the thing, I have this Mountain Dew, and I prepared for stream by bringing another Mountain Dew with me. Because I'm excellent. Maybe it's not, but I was pretty sure that it was. It doesn't say that there's no caffeine on it. It has 54 milligrams of caffeine in it. It says on the can. But I think it would probably say on the can. Usually it does kind of prominently, I feel like.
We all know quite a number of people who have everything that it would take to be happy, and they are not happy because they want something else or they want more of the same. And we all know people who have lots of misfortune and they are deeply happy. They radiate happiness. Why? Because they're good.
Honestly, I don't get super wired on it. I feel like maybe I did when I was a kid, but I'm not really sure. I feel like I genuinely had a lot of caffeine throughout most of my life, so... But I do know, like, a lot of kids would get super hyped whenever there was anything with, like, caffeine in it around because maybe, like, they didn't predominantly have that at home. I remember that happening at quite a few, like, birthday parties and stuff. Kids would just get all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Bob found the tea. Why does it prohibit light-colored soft drinks from having caffeine? That's so specific. I've also never heard that before. Whitey's gotta pay, and the payment is no light drinks can have caffeine. That's not how that works, you guys. That's everyone suffering. That was my best guess. Also, I totally took that from Llamas and Hats. I wonder if it I don't know, because they do sell, like, caffeine-free Mountain Dew here, Bob, and I don't feel like... It does taste a little bit different, but I feel like it's not drastic, you know? Because I will totally drink... Like, I won't drink, caffeine-free Coke is gross. But I will drink, like, Mountain Dew. That's also true, though, because I feel like other countries, there's the recipes that are more popular tend to not be as, like, infused with, like, the sugar and all of the extra stuff, so it might taste a bit different. That is true. It does taste pretty good. Ooh, I love Mountain Dew slush. So have you seen those, like, I've been getting these ads, they're dumb ads, but like, have you seen the slush cup where it's like people put a soda in it and they just squeeze it and it turns into a slushie? I want one so bad because I just want everything I drink forever to be a slushie. I'm a pretty big fan of the Baja Blast slushie from Taco Bell specifically. But I really want to know what this Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew sounds like in the slush cup. Sounds like, tastes like out of a slush cup, not sounds like. What does this drink sound like when I put it in a cup? One of Patrick's beard hairs was in my yarn. Oh my gosh, I think Patrick showed me a video like that. It was like a Coke slushie. And it looked really neat. Sin, have you ever had a Coca-Cola float? It's just like a root beer float, but with Coca-Cola instead. I used to like those. I want to say you could get them at... I used to get them at Burger King, I think, when I was a kid. I like those. I think those are definitely like top tier Coke product is a Coke float. I like those definitely a lot better than a Coke slushie. I do like a fountain Coke because they're always like a little different, right? Like a fountain Coke with like the crushed ice. I really like crushy ice. And I know that you're not supposed to like bite it or whatever is bad for your teeth, but I do. I bite it. I bite the crushy ice every time. My mom would do that too. Not every time, and not with all of the other... Like, I've never had a Sprite or a 7-Up float, but both of those really sound good. And now I'm kind of bummed that I don't have ice cream or like Sprite and 7-Up. I'm gonna be thinking about that hard later. I'm gonna put vanilla ice cream and 7-Up on our grocery list. else I have to do today. Or pretty soon anyway. I do need to make a grocery list. Ooh, that sounds really good too. We eat cheeseburgers kind of a lot, because I'm not gonna lie to you, like, Sai could always eat a cheeseburger. Like, always. He will sometimes have a cheeseburger for lunch, and then if I want a restaurant that has burgers for dinner, he's definitely gonna probably get a burger again, because it's like his favorite food. So, we have those kind of a lot, but I haven't had one with an egg on it in a while. I bet I could convince him to make us that soonish. Sometimes it just hits the spot. Ooh, yeah, that is really expensive. That's like what Impossible beef costs here, which is why I don't eat that more often. It's just too expensive to buy from the store. So instead we just get like really lean beef, and I tend to eat like a smaller portion of it. I hate it because I want my moo cow. No, I get it. That's why I'm like pretty adamant about finding good meat replacements. Just because the older I get, the less tolerant my body is of like red meat for some reason. So I'm just like, I have to find the absolute best fake meat possible. And it's not even because I don't like I was a completely vegetarian for a few years and I liked it. It's just I get food FOMO sometimes. If Patrick has burgers all the time, I'm gonna get sad. Plus there's just something about like the way a burger tastes, like a classic dressed burger tastes, is different from pretty much any other sandwich. And it kind of stands alone in that way. I do also like the Impossible meat for like a double reason though, because like it helps my tummy, but it also makes a lot of the foods that I like kosher, because I like cheese. And it's like, oh, this could be kosher. I'm gonna put cheese on it and ruin all of that. I didn't know that they had plant-based meatballs at IKEA. That's pretty interesting. It is sin, and I also believe that when it comes to like shellfish is probably like the hardest one for me. It's like, no, I'm definitely sinning. But I do like eating kind of semi-kosher because I'm not really like active in the Jewish community. I just know some Jewish people, and it's like, this makes me feel a little bit like I'm doing something. This is one of those ones. This is one of those activities you can do at home. I have thought about going to a few of the like. There's like not a ton of synagogues around here, but there's like 3 or so that are in reasonable driving distance. I've thought about going. I just haven't done it yet because I'm weird about going places in public still since the pandemic, honestly. And I'm also kind of weird about like. It's not the same as church, I know, but I have some weird religious stuff. So like the religious part of being Jewish is kind of like a challenge for me, which supposedly it's supposed to. But I'm weird about those types of buildings, and I feel like very out of place at them. That's true. Jews do not have hell. And in general, if you just try to be a good person, that's way more of how it's judged. So I like that. It makes it just so much more better. I don't know who invented the hell stuff, but they were just making up. They were in their own villain arc when they wrote that. I'm gonna scare the shit out of everyone, and then everyone believed him. Devil who? I don't know him. Okay. Gotta resituate in my chair. Kind of looking at how far I've come. Getting pretty long. The sides are kind of swoopy because it's like holding itself up. But when it's got stuff in it, it'll probably look better. And I'm also gonna get some of that starch, fabric starch stuff, because Sai knows where to get that, so that'll be cool, and that'll help it kind of have like the straighter edges when it's completely finished. I feel like I'm getting close-ish to the height that I want it to be. But I think I'm definitely going to let it like get a couple of rows of the pink-ish color. I need to find I don't have like leather cutting scissors, but I have an X-Acto knife. And I have the shape for the flap that I want on top. It just needs a little bit trimmed off. And then I can attach that to the top. I don't know how many pockets I'm going to make for it though. And I haven't really designed the pockets yet. I was going to like kind of sketch out a few kind of like ideas on some grid paper, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. I know for sure that I probably want one on the inside, which for that I will just crochet like a rectangle shape and sew it in, like flip it up inside out and sew it against whatever side is the back. I guess it's this one, because this is where the seam is. And then I probably want one on the front. Spend too much extra time today on stream though, because I do have to do housework. But I'll probably go for like 2.5 hours. stretch and a yarn stretch. Okay. Oh, gotta stretch my arms first. I actually really needed to stretch. Oh, my shoulders. Okay. Stretch, stretch. Stretch the yarn. This is actually a lot of yarn to stretch. Okay, don't fall over though. Don't fall over. Stretch in the proper direction. Cool. Ooh, and I also just rolled over the 12 hours of effort on this backpack. I think if I had chose a slightly thicker yarn, like instead of 2 of this size, if it had been like 2 of like just a size up, it probably would have been able to go faster. Bulky yarn definitely would have went way, way faster, but I love how this looks. Like, I definitely don't think I would have chose the easier route just because of how cool it is. I mean, I definitely would consider it in the future for a different backpack, but as far as this one goes, I'm just like, nah, the effort has totally been worth it. And it takes a long time, but it's like such a simple stitch that it hardly even matters, you know? Alright, Sid. Have fun. I'll talk to you later, probably. One Mountain Dew down. Oh gosh, just do the thing, please. No. My plans are pretty much after stream, I just need to, like, really clean our kitchen. I've been putting it off for so long. We have, like, no plates left. I have to wash the plate. I have to wash the plates, and I also need to get a couple of to-go boxes out of the fridge and take the trash out and all that good shit. You know, just house stuff. I was already planning on cleaning today, but I think Patrick also needs it clean because he's gonna, like, probably cook or something, and I have no idea what exactly he has planned, but he's like, oh, and if you make sure that it's actually clean, like, for real, I'll buy you a prize. And I'm like, a prize? Well, I'm easily persuaded. I want something. I would like a treat, please. I have no idea what kind of prize. A surprise, obviously, but, you know, beyond that, I don't know. Maybe he'll buy me a Furby. Or maybe we're gonna go get ice cream. I feel like ice cream is more likely than the Furby. The Furbies, honestly, I don't know where that even came from. That was just the first thing I thought of. I love Furbies, Bob. Why do you think my icon was a Furby? I was like 7 or 8 when Furbies came out the very first time, Bob. It was so easy to market a Furby to me. Me and my cousin both had them, and we would, like, face them towards each other because they can sense each other. And they have, like, automatic little phrases, and they would, like, make little noises at each other. And I thought that was just the best thing ever. I thought they were so cool. I've always wanted to customize a Furby. I don't really like the newest version of the Furbies, though, because I don't think they look like Furbies. And I don't think they really look especially cute. Like, I don't know. They tried to make them look cuter, and I think to most people, if you didn't like the original Furby, the newest ones are gonna be way more terrifying. I had so many older cousins that told me they were evil, and I'm like, listen, if my Furby eats you in your sleep, sounds a lot like you should have been nicer to my Furby. Mine was like blue and purple, I think, and it had like, I don't know, it was dumb looking, but I thought it was so good. I thought it was the best. But yeah, I have no idea what Sai has planned. You had a Furby too, Bob? Is that how you know yours was evil? Did it say evil things to you? Was it like the Teddy Ruxpin? It's like the dead of night and the Furby's just like, kill your parents. 100%. My Furby was pretty well behaved. It came trained, so it didn't do that. I always thought it would be kind of funny to, like, hook a Furby up somehow to, like, an electronic device, like a Billy Bass fish, and, like, anytime someone was singing or something, it would, like, move its little mouth and stuff. The batteries did last a really long time. I will totally give you that. 100% that was weird. For the type of toy it was, for when it first came out, you would have thought it wouldn't have lasted that long. It would still be yelling at me. Evil, evil Furby. It's like in your closet. They don't have arms, so they can't point at you, so, you know. Take solace in the lack of arms. They can only do so much. Watch out for their mind powers, though. Randomly screaming? Oh my god. Mine did not do that. Like, it would talk sometimes, but it definitely didn't scream. Yours was like Chucky or something. Mine would teach the new one the ways. It would make other Furbies bad. Okay, I'm gonna finish out this little short side, and then I'm gonna see... Oh yeah, Loki is still on, so we're probably gonna raid Loki TV. He's playing some Skyrim. He's got a lot of cool mods. I'm a pretty big fan of his mods. I'm honestly just like, I haven't been on the Nexus in so long, that's the only thing stopping me from having all the mods that he has. I just get mine from like the mod shop or whatever through the menu. But the Nexus is supposed to be the way to go for having a lot of mods, and I definitely like a lot of mods. They non-stop talked. They were like scheming together. Making escape plans and world domination manifestos. Okay. We are right near almost 12 and a half hours on it, so it will probably be finished soon enough. But for now, I'm going to raid Loki TV. They never really spoke English, that's true. They did have their own Furby language. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it for today. Thank you for coming in. I think pretty much everyone else is lurking, so thank you, Bob, and I appreciate the lurkers, and I will see you all soon.